Welcome back to the Ready to Read the Bible series. In Lesson 4, we covered the books of Job, Proverbs, and Ecclesiastes. Now we will continue exploring the genre of poetry and wisdom literature by looking at Psalms and Song of Songs. The Book of Psalms is a collection of 150 songs, prayers, and poems arranged in 5 books. Some of the Psalms tell of God's great deeds in rescuing the Jews from their enemies. Others are a reminder of the importance of keeping the law of Moses. There are also psalms of petition, lament, and thanksgiving. But don't expect these poems to rhyme. They were written in a style known as parallelism, in which a word or phrase is repeated, like in Psalm 34, which says, "I will praise the Lord at all times. His praise is always on my lips." Or sometimes a statement and its opposite are written in sequence, such as in Psalm 37:21. "The wicked borrow and don't pay back, but those who do right give freely to others." One advantage of parallelism is that even when a psalm is translated from the original Hebrew into other languages, it still retains its parallel structure. If the verses rhymed in the original, they would probably not rhyme when translated. These songs, prayers, and poems helped the Jews preserve their national identity. They used them in their annual festivals and other public events to remember all the good things God had done for them. In ancient times, only a few people could read, and even fewer actually owned a copy of the Old Testament. But reciting the Psalms helped them preserve their history and remind them that they were the only nation set apart by God to have this unique covenant relationship with Him.
The final book of this genre is called Song of Songs, also known as the Song of Solomon. This very brief book may have been the script of a play, or perhaps a collection of wedding songs in which the groom is like a king and his bride is a queen. Song of Songs is often described as an allegory of the love between God and Israel, or perhaps Christ's love for his bride, the church. No one knows for certain because the book doesn't explicitly say how it should be viewed. Biblical scholars disagree about whether there are 2 characters, lover and beloved, or 3 characters, lover, beloved, and Solomon. In any case, Song of Songs is a celebration of the beauty of marital love.
Bible reading tip number 5, figurative language. Figurative language is a way to express a sentiment that goes beyond the strict literal meaning. It is complex, metaphorical, and symbolic, unlike literal statements that are relatively simple, precise, and actual. Figurative language is often used to entertain the readers or provoke an emotional response. It comes in a variety of forms. Here are a few examples. A simile is a comparison using the word like. But I am like an olive tree flourishing in the house of God. A metaphor is a comparison without using the word like. Pride is their necklace. They clothe themselves with violence. Hyperbole is an exaggeration. You have put me in the lowest pit, in the darkest depths. Personification is when the author gives human qualities to an inanimate object, like the gates and doors of the city in Psalm 24. Lift up your heads, you gates. Lift them up, you ancient doors, that the King of glory may come in. Figurative language is quite common in poetry and wisdom literature, but we also find it in the genres of prophecy and apocalyptic. Keep in mind that everything in the Bible is true, but not everything should be taken literally. As always, context is key when it comes to determining whether a statement is literal or figurative. For instance, Psalm 77:16 through 20 says, "God, the waters saw you. They saw you and became afraid. The deep waters shook with fear. You made a way through the sea and paths through the deep waters, but your footprints were not seen. You led your people like a flock by using Moses and Aaron." The writer of this psalm is not saying that water actually experiences fear. By reading a few more verses, we can see that he is using figurative language to describe the immense power of God when he parted the Red Sea. Even the powerful sea must yield to the will of God.
Now let's spend a little time reading the Bible. This is Psalm 104, beginning in verse 1. My whole being, praise the Lord. Lord my God, you are very great. You are clothed with glory and majesty. You wear light like a robe. You stretch out the skies like a tent. You build your room above the clouds. You make the clouds your chariot, and you ride on the wings of the wind. You make the winds your messengers, and flames of fire are your servants. You built the earth on its foundations, so it can never be moved. You covered the earth with oceans. The water was above the mountains. But at your command, the water rushed away. When you thundered your orders, it hurried away. The mountains rose, the valleys sank. The water went to the places you made for it. You set borders for the seas that they cannot cross, so water will never cover the earth again. You make springs pour into the ravines. They flow between the mountains. They water all the wild animals. The wild donkeys come there to drink. Wild birds make nests by the water. They sing among the tree branches. You water the mountains from above. The earth is full of the things you made. You make the grass for cattle and vegetables for the people. You make food grow from the earth. You give us wine that makes happy hearts, and olive oil that makes our faces shine. You give us bread that gives us strength. The Lord's trees have plenty of water. They are the cedars of Lebanon, which he planted. The birds make their nests there. The stork's home is in the fir trees. The high mountains belong to the wild goats. The rocks are hiding places for the badgers. You made the moon to mark the seasons, and the sun always knows when to set. You make it dark and it becomes night. Then all the wild animals creep around. The lions roar as they attack. They look to God for food. When the sun rises, they leave and go back to their dens to lie down. Then people go to work and work until evening. Lord, you have made many things. With your wisdom you made them all. The earth is full of your riches. Look at the sea, so big and wide, with creatures large and small that cannot be counted. Ships travel over the ocean, and there is the sea monster Leviathan, which you made to play there. All these things depend on you to give them their food at the right time. When you give it to them, they gather it up. When you open your hand, they are filled with good food. When you turn away from them, they become frightened. When you take away their breath, they die and turn to dust. When you breathe on them, they are created, and you make the land new again. May the glory of the Lord be forever. May the Lord enjoy what he has made. He just looks at the earth and it shakes. He touches the mountains and they smoke. I will sing to the Lord all my life. I will sing praises to my God as long as I live.
We hope that you will take some time to read the books of poetry and wisdom literature. The wise counsel and encouragement written in these 5 books has helped many generations of Christians remain strong in their faith during times of war, sickness, and uncertainty. They can do the same for us today. Next time we will move on to the genre of prophecy.
Thank you for watching.
See you next time.